me to nest back behind that door there. Laid some eggs. Melody, there's 7 eggs in here.
All right.
Yep. That's the song. I hope you all had a safe and happy New Year's. So January 2nd, today's the day when all those goals and hopes and dreams that we had set up, before New Year started, that we were thinking, hey, come January, I'm gonna just, it's here. Today's the day. Okay, guys. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of those goals and dreams and get started on some of the projects inside the house and, just start making things happen because it's here, it's time. We just got to get it going, got to get it done. So let's get the show on the road and get started. And I'll take you along because I've got some things I want to talk about with you all, and I'm hoping that you all will leave me some feedback as to some of your thoughts and goals and dreams, and let's get some cool stuff happening this year, because you just never know what a year is going to bring. I certainly didn't a year ago expect what would happen last year, but I am further ahead this year than I was last year. I do have more raised gardens built. I do have more Jersey cows. I do have a second milk machine, surge milker. So I do have some of those things that I was hoping for last year. I don't have as much as I was hoping for, but I still have more than I did last year. So whatever your goals and dreams are, go for them, full-fledged, just, full power, full steam ahead. Some of you, that may mean rest. More rest for you because you are already overloading yourselves and you do need to listen to your bodies. So if your body is saying, hey, this year, I'm going to rest more, do that. That's important for your health, for your kids, for your grandkids, or for some of the other people that you have an influence over. You're not going to serve them well if you're not at your best. So take that time, make yourself healthy, and get yourself rested. All right, let's get started.
You feel misunderstood. Say what's the remedy? We'd be like-minded if we could, but that's not the case. Oh, the wind will turn, don't be concerned. Oh, I can learn. When we end the sighting games and we don't pull them both ways, we can do it, we can do it. I know we'll find the missing frame. Sideways, up or down, it's all the same. We will do it, we will do it. Sweet rain and honest truth is what I get from you. No matter how hard I get the blues, you keep me steady, yet loose. When we end the sighting games and we don't pull them both ways, we can do it, we can do it.
So we've got some plans going for this coming year, and some of them are going to be really exciting, some of them are going to be really scary. We're hoping to be able to reach out to more people. See, that's gonna be the one problem. We're hoping to reach out to more people and help more people if we can with milking, with dairy cows. So one night I made up a whole list of different plans for this coming January, and I want to share them with you, and you tell me what you think. Okay?
Yay or nay kind of a thing.
Well, all right. So I need to, between today and tomorrow, get started pruning the fruit trees. I mean, considering the temperatures, everything's wet enough in there. Why would we not just go ahead and clean it up and put down fresh?
Why would we not?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not my job. We have a guy that's doing that.
Okay, so partly though, it's also we've got manure and compost in there that creates heat. The temperatures are going to go back down. So
Well, I thought you were asking, like, why shouldn't we do that? Like, as in, we should just go ahead and do that.
no.
Okay. I know why we do it, I just didn't know, like,
Even though the temperatures are warm, and yes, we could empty out the stalls. If we don't, and rebed over top of all that muck and stuff, we are actually creating a warm kind of a heated mattress pad
yeah.
for the cows.
And especially the shavings breaks down a lot faster underneath and creates that heat. We've actually, I remember last winter, which wasn't as cold as this one, but
We had some cold spells.
We did, but not this early on. But we went to rebed and set down shavings, and you could literally see all the steam coming up from
Yeah.
out of the shavings because of all of the manure that had been breaking down.
Right.
So it creates very, like, almost an insulated bed for them.
Yep.
So they actually like laying in it because it's all warm, but it's dry.
Right. And by using the shavings, the cow's hooves are going to stir it up a bunch. So the shavings then are going to soak up whatever moisture is in there. So it'll be kind of it'll be a dry but slightly moist, and composting stall bedding. And as we add more shavings on top of that, it's just going to constantly keep it dry, mostly dry. And composting, they'll be warmer, and you know, it's a lot more convenient for us because in the wintertime, having to totally tear out everything, it just doesn't make any sense. And when you think about it, their stall, the floor of their stall is concrete.
It gets cold in the winter.
Yeah. And I don't know about many of you, but when I used to let my fingernails grow long, I'm a musician, so that didn't happen very often. Yeah. But I don't know if any of you ladies have ever tried this, but if you put your fingernails on like ice, it just radiates through the hands and aches. That's what they're dealing with when we, just have ice cold concrete for their hooves to be on. It's just radiating all the way up through their leg. So I want to be able to make sure that they've got something warm and soft for their feet, not mucky. And I know some of you in the south, you can't do that. But here in the north, we can. We just happen to have a January thaw right now where it's 40 degrees and I'm not wearing a coat. Okay, so if you can do that for the big stall and the small stall, we've got to get that bedded. And in 8 weeks, Minnie is having her calf. We're going to have to figure out what to do with the boys.
Yeah.
They'll probably be fine outside.
Yeah.
They've got so much hay out there to lay in that they'll probably be just fine.
Yeah.
And then we'll just have to, kind of figure all of that out. And then for me, inside, I'm going to be ripping out drywall on the one wall in our living room and start taking that out, start getting the living room all fixed up and set up. We've got so many projects going on in the living room. It'll be fun. But I'm hoping to show you guys how that's going and let you kind of follow along with all of that. Okay, so some of the other things that we're thinking about doing is offering a consulting option for those of you here local in this area. We're wanting to be able to offer this so that if you are looking for somebody to come out and help you train a milk cow, we have limited experience, but we do have experience with some cows that have tried to kill us. And we have experience with cows that trained us and helped me with PTSD. We've had everything in between. we've had multiple times where we've had to actually train brand new cows that have never been milked before how to milk.
Yeah, and we've had experience also training cows that are going to try to murder you and training them to be gentle and docile and then sell them to another family with kids. And those kids could get right up and personal. So we have a lot of experience with like training really bad cows to go on to a different family.
Yeah,
To
now-
sell them to as child safe.
I would love to say that we can make that happen every single time, but every cow is different.
Yeah.
But, you know, we do want to be able to be on hand and available to help with that. And I know some families have cows, they've got a perfect milk cow, but they've got to figure out how to milk her by hand or figure out how to use their surge milker. I've got several videos on that, but sometimes it's just nice to have somebody come. So if you're wanting to get a hold of us, I will leave my contact information on the description on this video. But if you're wanting help with that, you know, contact us. If you're within, you know, the central Michigan area, you know, we'll come out and we'll give you a hand with that. That's something that is really heavy on our hearts to be able to offer to other people the option of, you know. She just pooted.
Yeah, I know. I heard it. I just didn't expect to see a butt right there.
Thanks, Minnie. We just want to
Cow
be able to
farts are a
offer.
real thing.
Yeah, they really are. But I see this so much on Facebook. Like my cow just had a calf 3 days ago, and I'm only getting a pint of milk from her. You know, I want to be able to help with that and how to know when the milk is going to come in and signs to look for mastitis, what to look for, and then when do you call a vet? Well, okay, just as a disclosure,
Disclaimer.
disclaimer, call your vet before you get your cow and make sure that you can find a good reputable one
Yeah.
before you bring a cow onto the property.
Because not only have we seen so many people that are like, I don't know, we can't find a vet, we can't, like, you should have done that before you got the cow. I mean, unless it was an emergency situation.
Which
had
it
to
was
get
for us.
It was for us because we did that. We got a cow and then ended up trading her in for a couple of other cows that ended up getting really bad mastitis. And we almost lost the one and didn't have a vet, didn't even know who to call because we didn't think about that before.
Right.
There were a lot of things we didn't think about the first time. But that's one of the main reasons that we want to offer this to somebody else is because we had no idea what we were doing, and looking back, like we were just talking about it, looking back, there were so many mistakes we made on that first cow. Like we shouldn't have even gotten that first cow. And we had people that helped us with the milking part and kind of taught us how to do that, but we didn't have anyone tell us before you get a cow, look for a vet. Before you get a cow, make sure your setup is going to be well made for a cow. And even if the person selling you the cow says they don't need an electric fence, that we will not, we should have known better, but we didn't. We believed them. But
And it wasn't their fault necessarily
it
because she was a
absolutely
good
wasn't.
cow on their property. But we brought her to a brand new property
Yeah.
and we were newbies and we should have had our infrastructure better.
that through because yeah, we went and saw her at their property and she was great, but we should have thought that ahead. That okay, but she might be different. She was a brand new mom for the first time, just had her calf, and then we took her, and you know there were a couple things that we should have thought through a little bit better that first one. But we didn't have anybody that was walking us through all of that. We had someone teach us how to milk. So we knew how to milk. We didn't know how to milk a cow right after they calved. We didn't know how to prevent mastitis or how to prevent milk fever or even spot milk fever. So there were a lot of things that we just had no idea about. And we've learned it, unfortunately, on the job.
And the hard way.
And the hard way. So that's why we're kind of both really, like,
Passionate.
Yeah, passionate about this because we want to be able to offer that help to someone that's where we used to be, you know, what 4 years ago? I think it's been
2019, March and April of
Yeah, 4 years
2019
ago.
is when we brought on our,
Doesn't feel like 4 years
it'll
ago.
be almost 4 years this March.
Yeah,
In
doesn't
April,
feel like 4 years.
that's
It
when we
feels
brought
like
on our,
a lot longer than that.
so, you know, it seems like we've not been in this journey for very long, but in the very short amount of time, we've had cows escape down the road. We've had cows try to kill us on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
And we've had cows try to jump out of a livestock trailer while we're driving them home for the first time.
Yeah, that was nerve wracking. And I don't know, she was like an hour away.
Yeah,
We were an hour, so that was the
an hour and a half,
longest
almost.
hour and a half.
It was an hour and a half if you drive the freeway at 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We had to take back roads because she kept trying to jump out of the trailer. And it's a livestock trailer, but it was kind of open on the door. And it was Blossom, actually. And so I had to drive, I think, 35, 40 miles an hour home on back roads. It took us 2.5 hours to get home.
And she was driving like 35, and meanwhile, I'm sitting doing this the whole time to make sure she wasn't going to jump out of the trailer.
Oh, it was the most nerve-wracking trip. But now that she's home, she's great. We love her.
She's
the
very
best.
confident here and very secure.
Yep. She's got her kind of pecking order, and
She's one rank. Whoops, hang on, this is backward. One rank down from Minnie.
Yep.
Hi, Minnie.
Yep.
You're in charge, and Blossom likes to think she's in charge unless Minnie's around, and then she's not in charge.
Yep. Yeah, so she's, these are all just things that we've learned. We've learned having a bull. We've had 2 bulls on the property now. The first one we got as a calf, and he was just a sweetheart. We loved him.
Yeah.
But we did some things wrong with him that we shouldn't have done. We treated him like a pet, and we shouldn't have. And he stayed sweet. But had we kept him to full maturity, he could have become mean. And
Which
we
we
just
were planning to do. It
we
was
were.
kind of a an unexpected change of plans when we switched him out for the one we have now. And the one we have now, we got him he was 4.
he was 3.
He was
Yeah.
3, so we already were wary of him. We didn't treat him like a pet because he's grown up.
Yeah.
But had we kept the
Buster.
other bull, Buster, that we could have had issues.
Yeah. So those are some things, that we've learned. We've learned how to identify when our bull is kind of emotionally charged, and mostly it's because of a female in heat
Or
or
weather
spring.
changes.
Yeah, or weather
Or,
changes or
spring.
spring. Yeah. We've had our bull escape the property too,
Yeah. In the middle of the night.
twice.
Yeah, but there have been almost every single year around springtime, we have the talk about putting him down or getting rid of him because he's not mean, but he acts like he's going to be. Like he's always kind of alert, and his eyes are always crazy looking.
And he starts making those moves.
those really weird.
And starts pawing the ground.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, what did I do to you? So every year we always have that talk, and then that spring flush gets over with, and he's back to normal.
Yep, his normal, calm self. But it's just learning your cows. I've talked about that so many times. So anyway, all that to say, we would like to start kind of a consulting side of Providence Acres.
Yeah.
And so if there's topics you'd like us to cover and questions that you have, whether it be feed or nutrition or how to know what kind of feed your animal is needing, or how to train a calf. You get an unruly calf. Okay, and I don't mean this to sound insulting to anybody, but we did see on social media somebody who had gotten, how old was that calf? 4 months?
4 or 5 months at the most.
But it was just a little tiny thing. And the video, she was telling that calf to be good. And then when that calf would just throw its head up, she would jump up on the railing and say, no, no, no.
Now, a little bit on her side of things, she had only ever had goats. That was her first cow. However, that cow, when we saw her, it was a girl for one, so you didn't have the bull hormones going on. And she was only a little bit bigger than a standard sized goat. She was not
Just
very
a
big
little
at all.
thing.
She was little.
But she was scared.
She was, and so she kind of stood up and went after her. But I mean, I've had babies bigger than that, and you just grab their nope, we're not gonna do this, and you just
Grab their nose.
Yeah, grab their nose, or
You get a hold of a cow's nose, you've got complete control of them.
Yeah, or sometimes I've even been hit. A little baby charged at me, and I got hit. I maybe got a bruise on my hip. That was it. There was nothing like I wasn't in danger. My life was not in danger. I don't need on the side of stalls to escape a 4-month-old baby.
Yeah, it was just kind of funny, but people get these cute little calves because on social media, of course, you're only going to see the cute little calves, and they're so adorable. But once they get to be about 150, 200 pounds, which happens around 2 months old, they can hurt when they reach out and they kick really hard with their
my. I got kicked by one of our boys.
Was it Dozer?
Yeah,
I think it was
Dozer. He was like, he wasn't that old. He was young because we were. It happened out here when we were bucket. He was still being bucket fed,
so
milk.
he would have been about 3 months old.
3 months old. That kid, I was walking behind him, and I know the rules. Like like I'll touch him in the back or I'll talk to him.
Let him know
that way he's
that
not surprised.
Yep.
We're working on that with our baby right now.
Yep.
And I did that. I gave him fair warning, and he was like, "Well, you didn't give me enough warning." So he kicked me real good. I had a giant bruise, like the size of half my calf. I don't grow hair there anymore. So, I have no hair there. I'm bald. I have a bald spot now. So yes, they can do damage, but that's as bad as they're gonna do. Like they're not gonna actually be able to kill you. They're not gonna be able to really hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, I got kicked real good, and like
Molly.
the skin, so I just got like an abrasion bruise, but that was it. Like I didn't get a broken leg, I didn't fall onto the ground, and he trampled on me. Like
No,
that,
and
that
see,
didn't
that's
happen.
the thing. If you fall down because a calf is scared of you and you fall on the ground, that calf's not going to trample you. That calf's going to try to get away from you because you just scared it half to death. Being worried about being trampled, that happens when they're 6 months or older. And, I worry actually more for people who get a cow and don't have any experience with a cow. Maybe they've had goats, maybe they've had horses, and that's great. But cows are different. We've talked about getting sheep. I'm not really worried about sheep anymore because I've had cows. And once you've had a bull and you've had some killer cows, pretty much nothing else phases you. However, I am afraid of horses. So that's, I would love to have a horse someday, but they scare me. It's like I can't read their body language.
Yeah, because we have such a mind connection with these guys, and I don't want that to sound like weird, but where you can look into their face and you know what they're thinking. As far as if they're calm, if they're irritated. You did a video on just the last video you did on Blossom, or during the blizzard, she came down with the symptoms of milk fever, and the only way we were able to tell was that her eyes looked a little different. She didn't run into the stanchion like she does. She kind of just, walked moseyed in.
Yeah.
She always kicks her heels up and almost throws herself off balance to get into the stanchion. And so we knew there was something off. We did mastitis checks. She was fine on mastitis. She, nothing was wrong with her udder. We had been keeping up with grain. We know their food and water situation. We leave free choice minerals that are really good supplement of all the different minerals. So we couldn't figure it out, and we gave her some calcium, and by the afternoon she was pushing the other girls around and acting like her old self, and we only could tell because we could see in her eyes and her body language.
Yeah, and it's having that connection with your cows. Those are some things that we want to offer from our farm. And so we've got some cool things going on, but I'm starting to get chilly, so I think it's time to get back inside.
I'm starting to get warm.
So I think it's time to start getting inside, but we also want to start up doing a podcast. And so I want to start, just kind of getting some different perspectives from some of the other local homesteaders here in this area, and then maybe eventually branch out. I'd love to be able to get our local veterinary livestock veterinarian out and be able to just have him discuss what some of his frustrations are as a doctor coming to a farm, or and what he sees so often, and what he'd really like it if people would just be able to have that advice from a veterinarian. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, personally, I'd be referring to that section all the time, every time I'm faced with something new. So leave me a comment. Let me know what kinds of things you'd like us to discuss, and hopefully we can do kind of a little bit of these coffee chats. Coffee.
Coffee chat.
Coffee. I need to bring out my coffee. Help me stay warm.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can do more of these things more often. Okay, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of this, because I'm really hoping to get this going as far as educational, so it's not just a day in the life of Providence Acres and what else is going on, but also just a chit chat with you, and maybe, you know, I'd like to expand into doing some live chit chats. So let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe, hit the little bell so that you're notified every time we put up a video, and then hit a like, thumbs up, share it. You know, let other people, let's get more people involved. So happy farming, you know, stay safe out there. And this is us from Providence Acres. We'll see y'all later.
We can do it, we can do it. I know we'll find the missing frame. Sideways, up or down, it's all the same.